Hello YouTube and welcome back to the show. We're back with part 3 of the Colombian Carbon build and review series. Today we brought the Colombian Carbon out here to my favorite flying location to do a bit of tuning. So if you've been following around, we did the build, we went over the parts and the specs on this build right here, and I have to say the build process was awesome. Everything just fit. I had no problems fitting anything, and as you can see here, it turned out a super clean build that weighs about 311 grams as it sits right here without the battery. So today we're out here to try and do some tuning. I'm sure you can hear there's quite a bit of wind, so we'll see. It probably means that my eye gains will be a little bit higher than I like, but I tend to tune it every now and then when I go out. I just want to really get out and fly this thing and get a feel for it. So stick around. We're going to do one quick flight right now just to get a feel for where it is, and then we're going to be tuning from there. So stick around for just a second. So as you guys just saw, I did a little flight about a full battery just to get a feel for it, and it's actually pretty close to locked in. So I think now I'm just going to take a look and see what the PIDs are at, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this was a beta flight stock. I think it's like 4.5 for pitch and 5.5 for roll, or sorry, the other way around. Anyway, what I have gone ahead and done is put both to 6. So I have 6 on pitch and 6 on roll, and I'm leaving yaw as it is at 7 because that seems to be where I end up with it most of the time anyway. I did lower derivative to 5 just so I can really see what's happening with the copter, and now we're going to go take a little flight and see what we see. So stay tuned. So we can already see right away as we take off that the quad is pretty twitchy, and there's a bit of oscillation just on the throttle. And you can see when I'm flipping and rolling that the quad is not happy. It really likes to vibrate a lot. So we've gone too far. 6 is too high. We're going to back it up a little bit and try it again. But we already know we've gone too far, so we can only go down from here. Alright folks, so as you just saw there, 6 is too much. So I'm getting the quick vibrations both pitch and roll. So I've already gotten too far. So what I'm going to do is back it up. Probably back it up to about 56 on the boat and see where we're at. Okay, so stay tuned. Here I'm just looking for some more oscillation as well. So I'm starting the flight, there's no vibrations on just throttle, which is good. So we're getting a little bit closer. There's a bit of vibration when you do quick snap movements like right here, but the vibration has reduced in amplitude and frequency. So I can reduce a couple more points on the P gain and probably start bringing up D to clean up the last little bit, and this should be a pretty solid tune. closer that time, but not quite good. So I'm gonna lower it down to about 55. That's where I think that things are gonna be pretty happy. And then I'm gonna start playing around with D and I to see how the quad feels in the air. I do have anti-gravity turned to 2 on most of my builds these days because it seems to cure a lot of the nodding and allows me to run lower eyes, which I like. So let's go on for next flight. So now that we lowered the P gains a little bit, it's already feeling a bit smoother. There's literally no oscillation on just stick movements, but on quick ones where you drop, there's just a bit of bounce back. So we're very close to eliminating the bounce back. Probably a little bit more D will do the trick. The quad's feeling a tiny bit loose when I play with the throttle, so that's probably eye gains that we're going to have to increase a little bit as well. Other than that, it's feeling nice. We just have to get rid of a bit of the bounce back. And here I'm just trying to see how much prop wash oscillation I'm getting, which is already pretty minimal. You can barely see it on the video at all. There's just a tiny little flutter here and there, and you can barely hear it, so that's a good sign. So actually that was pretty good. We were sitting at about 56 on pitch and roll, 64 I on both as well, and D is at 20. And I have a tiny bit of bounce back, and the motors are very cool. So I'm gonna turn that up a little bit because I think we can get this up to being super smooth. So that's my second battery, or actually my first battery tuning. Second battery did a phone today. Now I'm about to hop onto the third battery. So once you've tuned a few quads, maybe like 10 or so, or I don't know how many quads, eventually you'll start getting a feel for it, and it doesn't take that long. However, it's a skill that you have to practice, I'd say. So following along with some of the like Stingy's video, or Schizo made one too, and Joshua Bardwell has probably like a dozen of them. Definitely recommend going through those videos as well. The method that I'm showing you right now like works for me. I don't necessarily think that it's going to work for everyone, but I'm just giving you my impressions of tuning the there you have it. I'm not sure how much you can see in the video there, but this is smooth. Barely any prop wash, like really literally at all. Like I'm really liking this. It feels locked in, my fly style. Very little prop wash when I'm dropping, or even when I'm like bouncing the quad left and right. So let's get a bigger battery and let's rip this thing. folks? We tuned the Colombian Carbon Middleman, and this thing's flying really well. I'm actually loving it. It might even be flying better than my Hive right now, dare I say. But that's just down to the tune, so I can probably get a little bit more performance out of the Hive as well. However, I love this frame. I actually ended up flying it into a goalpost during one of my flights, and I'm not sure if you can see it there, but like that's all the damage it did. It just like a tiny little bit of carbon missing from the end of the arm there, but like everything else is perfectly good. The motor guard did its job and protected the frame. Tuning it was super easy. I ended up with a value of about 56 on P gain for both pitch and roll, and about 60 on the I gains for both pitch and roll as well. The yaw is at 70 and 50 on I, and the D gains are at about 28, and the motors are nice and cool. I could probably up the D gain a little bit more, but I'm not getting any prop wash, and I like how cool my motors are, so I'm just gonna keep rocking that. Really happy with how this thing is flying freestyle. Just exactly what I was looking for in terms of the punch power, and just the lightness of the frame really helps, and it's just pretty much a blast to fly. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and my tuning method might not work for everybody. That's just how I've gotten used to feeling the quad now. What I do is I just go way up on the gains, and I can tell by the oscillations how far I've gone, and then I just back it out a little bit, and I usually end up with something around the 50s depending on how well the soft mounting has been. I would definitely recommend the Colombian Carbon Middleman in terms of building. It was super easy. The components fit just fine. There's lots of space, and the way it goes together with the built-in soft mounting for the FC is pretty awesome. So I like the simplicity of the frame. I like how light it is. So I definitely recommend this if you're looking for a new frame, something a little bit unique. It's a great little frame to fly. I might even recommend this more for racing, actually, just because of the form factor and how light it is. This thing will probably rip around a track, but I really wanted it for freestyle, so that's how I built mine. I didn't end up using like high kV motors or anything like that. I was just looking for some low-end grunt. Though it is pretty fast, I could definitely race with this thing. Extremely resilient frame. As I said, I crashed it onto the pole and no problem. I haven't really crashed it much since then, but it seems that already impressed me. The fact that it survived that with minimal damage and it protected my motors, I'm pretty happy. So that pretty much covers it for the Colombian Carbon Middleman, guys. It's a very interesting build, worth checking out if you're looking for something unique. I hope you subscribe to the channel because there's some more stuff coming down the pipes as well. I have with me a finally arrived. We have the Strictly Racing Drones 5-inch. This thing is really cool as well. Again, in that super simple vein, there's only like 2 plates to the whole thing. It's super stripped down. That's kind of my thing right now. I'm looking for really stripped down frames that are easy to build and don't have a lot of fiddly parts. However, I also got sent a Saturn Titan XS by Beaver FPV. So the kind folks at Beaver FPV, Norm and Wayne, sent me a this frame right here. So I'm going to be reviewing this guy as well. It's a 3-inch Stretch X, and it looks pretty nifty. I love the little pod. Check that out. So it looks pretty futuristic and cool. So we'll be doing a build and review series on this guy as well. And if you guys have any suggestions, comments, concerns, anything you'd like to see on the show, drop me a line in the comments. I love when you guys comment on the channel because it gives me a chance to talk to you guys and maybe learn a thing or two, or maybe get some new ideas for the show. And I really appreciate all the support. We're up to 470 subscriptions right now, and I really appreciate everybody who's subscribed. Thank you very much, guys. You've made this like a pretty awesome FPV year for me. So stay tuned for more build and review series coming down the pipes.